D.O.C, what's good?
What's up with you, bro?
Oh man, it is such an honor for us to finally talk. I think the highlights of my career was the DJ Yella interview and now this, because like we were talking offline, N.W.A is my favorite group ever. Period.
It was a great group.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's start in the beginning. How did you end up hooking up with Dre initially?
There was a mutual friend in Dallas who had worked with Lonzo in some capacity as a DJ.
Uh-huh.
And when the Boys in the Hood record started to get some action,
Yeah.
this dude brought those guys to Dallas.
Uh-huh.
And so that's how, I met the guy. And through just a bunch of different situations, we ended up working together.
Okay. Because you were originally part of the Feel of Fresh crew.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember there was the N.W.A and the Posse.
Right.
Record. But I guess that kind of came out later because it was sort of pieced together from different
Listen,
projects.
There was a lot of music being made by a lot of groups.
Yeah.
And the people that control that music put their record out. I didn't know anything about that record.
Okay.
And I didn't know I was in the Posse. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So from my understanding, Macola and whoever was in the chair of power at that time just put these records out,
Okay.
put them together. And
But the first official project was it Eazy Does It or
yeah,
Eazy Does It was the first project that came out.
Yeah.
And then Straight Outta Compton came out.
Right.
But you came in and you started working on Eazy Does It.
right.
All right. How was it really being in the studio initially with N.W.A and Eazy and everything else like that? For example, I heard Eazy was very offbeat, initially.
Yeah, the guy's nuts. He was a cool kid, really strong character. Didn't have a lot of talent, but the it that makes you a star was him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We were all really, I would say, well, I can only speak for myself. I was really just trying to copy Eazy's swag, When I first got out here, I was trying to do what Eric did,
Yeah.
He was a real soldier. And he helped these guys do some pretty incredible things. It was really cool working with him.
Okay. Now you wrote We Want Eazy. What else did you write on Eazy's album?
Still Talking Shit, Easier Said Than Done. And there may be a couple more, man. I'd have to see the track listing. It's been a long time.
Now, you said in an interview that like Ice Cube was writing for Eazy as well.
Mm-hmm. We all were.
You all were, right?
Yeah.
But it was mostly you and Ice Cube?
No, we all were.
Everyone was coming together.
Well, me, Cube, and Ren.
Okay, right.
Yeah, we were the writers.
But you were saying in an interview once that Ice Cube's lyrics were all about murdering you and leaving you in a trash can and so forth, whereas you were more kind of radio friendly with your approach?
Well, you're right and wrong. Ice Cube's lyrics were about the neighborhood and things that went on in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. When I wrote, it was just imagination because I didn't live in that neighborhood. So my idea was to try to make Eazy as palatable as Cube was on any given track, knowing that Eazy didn't have Cube's power. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I tried to make his stuff funny and charming to people that were outside of his neighborhood. You know what I mean? The young white kids in the suburbs who was really digging that music, I was rapping to them.
Right, and I was one of those white kids in the suburbs.
I can dig it.
Digging that music. I grew up in San Mateo, for example, in high school, and that was the biggest thing in my high school.
Yeah,
You know?
it was a big time, man. It was dope. You know, I really I cherish those memories. Not all of them are the best. I had to go through a whole bunch of really tough things, through the course of that history, but it was all worth it.
Well, you wrote We Want Eazy, and that was Eazy's biggest record.
That was the pop.
That was what got him on the radio. Right, because
Yeah.
Boys in the Hood was like the hood classic.
Yeah.
But they weren't playing that on the radio.
Right.
But We Want Eazy.
You had to get him on the radio because he was it.
That
But
was
I knew
it.
how to get him on the radio. When I got here, about 3 weeks after I got here, that's when we went to, finally got to go to Audio Achievements, and Yella, Eazy and Ren was there. Q wasn't there then. And Dre pulled up the track, and I wrote the track. And we're talking about maybe 3 weeks after that, we kind of knew, you know what I mean? It's for the pop, you know what I mean?
Okay. The song comes out, it starts to blow up, they do the video, you're not in the video.
Right.
Why weren't you in the video?
You know what? I don't know, bro. You'd have to ask Eazy, and you can't, you know what I mean? So, because I was definitely trying to be in there, but I wasn't.
Well, not being in the video is one thing, but you actually weren't in the credits.
Yeah, that was tough.
Okay. Why do you think the paperwork wasn't really done during that time and that type of thing? Because I don't think anyone's disputed the fact that you wrote these songs.
Well, we were kids, man. You know, kids don't know anything about business. You know, we were just trying to do the best that we could, but somebody knew. You know, it just wasn't me.
I read an interview in Playboy magazine recently that said that you actually signed off your publishing for a gold chain.
No, that didn't happen, but it did happen. You know, I always see this picture. The guy's name is Matt McDaniels, and he was around back then. He filmed all the early interviews before the music came out, you know. And I always see this one thing where we walk in the studio and everybody walks past him and says their name, you know, and even me, not knowing where the hell I was or what the hell I was doing. But in that piece, I'm wearing a chain. That chain has my name, D.O.C, at the bottom of it. Now, we hadn't even released the N.W.A record at that point. But that chain is the chain you're speaking of, that they say I signed off on for music I hadn't even done yet, I guess, at that point. But no, man, I don't think if someone would have said to me, do you want to sign off all your publishing for this gold chain, I don't think, even being ignorant to the game, I don't think I would have said that.
Well, so what did this Playboy article refer to? Because in the article, it literally said...
Well, it's talking about the rumor. That was the rumor that got started because everybody knew I'd written the records and wasn't getting paid for it.
Okay.
So...
But the gold chain story ain't true?
No.
Okay. Because I mean, I read it a few, I think the Ego Trip...
No, Eazy bought the gold chain for sure.
But you didn't sign off your deal for it.
They just took it, bro.
Okay, so but you didn't sign any paperwork.
No.
So you didn't get paid for Eazy Does It, Straight Outta Compton, For Life, your own album?
Well, after the two first records, the publishing splits got corrected.
Okay.
And I'm not exactly sure how it did, but it did. And some of that stuff started to be getting taken care of. But the damage was really already done as far as publishing is concerned, because it was those first two records that really cemented a lot of the positive income, you know what I mean, as far as this movement was concerned. Even this movie that just came out.
Right, exactly, because all the music's being used once again.
He tried as much as he could, but he couldn't make it. But we pretty much knew that it was a slim chance that he was gonna make it in the short time that we made this project. So we just kept moving, and it's us four on there.
A heterosexual man doesn't mind planting seeds of being gay in your mind, of himself, just in order to propel himself with popularity and money.
Do you know who does this?
In this society.
Do you know who else does this?
Who?
Daylight.
Ah,